Henry Morgan, Mr. Henry, was born September the 11th, 1919 in Escambia County, Alabama. He was one of 7 siblings with 3 sisters and 3 brothers. His father was a salesman whose family accompanied him to jobs in Memphis, Birmingham, and Montgomery. He graduated from Montgomery Sidley Lanier High School in 1939, and in 1946 he married Betty Elmore. Together they have 2 sons, Henry Jr. or Mike, and Rick. After working 5 years in operations and traffic for Eastern Airlines and 3 years for the U.S. government in Veterans and Farm Security Administration in Montgomery, Mr. Henry wanted to go into business for himself. The old Pan American Petroleum Company, or Amoco as most of us would know it, needed someone to sell its brand in southern Alabama, and so Mr. Henry opened up that territory in 1947. His first station on West Cummings Avenue in Opp later became known as the Roadrunner. During this time, Mr. Henry served in leadership positions with the Alabama Petroleum Marketers, the National Oil Jobbers Council, the National Tire Dealers, and the Alabama Tire Dealers Association. He was featured and honored by a wide variety of regional and national media. He was active locally as a member of the Lions Club and the Chamber of Commerce, and he served as the president of the Opp Chamber from 1956 to 1957. He was an active member of the First Baptist Church and served as its Youth Training Union Director and Brotherhood President. Mr. Henry was a successful and innovative businessman who started several businesses in Opp, which he grew to encompass not only the state of Alabama, but 5 southeastern states. As an Amoco gasoline distributor, he was the first to introduce the concept of self-service, not only in Opp, but in the entire state of Alabama. In 1950, the Henry Morgan Tire Company became AutoSave Incorporated, a chain of franchise retail tire stores with stores in Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, and North Carolina. AutoSave Recapping Company in Opp grew to produce 1,500 retread tires a week. And in the late 1980s, Mr. Henry started his last and perhaps his most famous enterprise, Mr. Henry's Cookies. These were sold throughout the entire United States and eventually internationally to include Canada and Taiwan. Mr. Henry was for the last 20 years of his life a goodwill ambassador for Opp. He appeared all over the Southeast in a tuxedo, usually with a life-size cutout of himself, which wouldn't have been too large, promoting Mr. Henry's gourmet cookies. Always prominently displayed in signs, brochures, and proudly mentioned in television and radio appearances and commercials was the fact that the famous cookies were made in Opp. For years, Mr. Henry's Cookies were the official cookie of the Auburn Tiger Network, and Jim Fife, the longtime voice of the Auburn Tigers, never mentioned Mr. Henry's Cookies without saying that they were made in beautiful downtown Opp, Alabama. Ladies and gentlemen, accepting the award this evening on behalf of Mr. Henry Morgan is his son, Rick.